I was just reading something about food stamps and how you are explicitly not able to buy vitamins with an EBT card, or food stamp card, if you will. On one side, you say, well, that's kind of messed up. Don't they want us eating healthy? Wouldn't the government want you to eat healthy rather than eat all this crap processed food, which is the only thing you'll be able to afford on EBT cards? And then that's going to make you unhealthy, diabetes, cancer early, etc., which is then going to be affecting the government way later on, because then they're going to have to deal with your sick, sorry, unhealthy butt later. Yeah. But at the same time, in all fairness to our beloved government, you want to get more bang for your buck. So having people buying vitamins isn't actually feeding them and making them full. And they would want you to buy the bare necessities with the EBT cards. What the? What do we got there? Petey boy. It's one of the kids' friends. Hang on a second. Let me close the door. So, in all fairness to the government, you'd want to make that dollar go as far as it can. And as far as it can go is basically buying processed foods and crap, unfortunately. So one side of it is, okay, let's not beat up on the government. They're doing the best they can. And the other side is, man, it kind of sucks because now you can't even eat healthy. So you better get off food stamps as soon as possible. In other words, get a job that makes enough to where you don't need food stamps, etc. And then the problem is, are there any of those jobs because so many people are unemployed? So this is just a complete setup to be having people become very dependent on the government. And it's interesting that Lindsey Williams was told recently that they, the elite, in this case the Obama administration, the government, wants 70% of the population in America to be dependent on the government for something. EBT cards, health things, whatever. Some kind of payment you have coming in, anything, which would include Social Security for a retiree. So, any reason that you're dependent on the government, they want to calculate that to be somewhere around 70% of the population. They want you to be dependent. And the reason being is very simple. Mindset of the sheep, the entitlement population. I don't care what his foreign policy is. I don't care if he wants to tax the rich. I don't care if he wants to tax this. I don't care if he thinks that about that. I don't care if he wants to do healthcare. I don't care about that. What does he think about food stamps? He's for that. I'm voting for him. And then the other side, I've got to get my Social Security. I don't care about anything else. I'll do anything to continue that Social Security payment. Who do I have to vote for? Because I put in that money all these years, and damn it, I'm getting that Social Security money. So who do I have to vote for that's going to make sure this continues? I can't survive without Social Security. So, it's him? I'll vote for him. Don't even think about what their foreign policy is, war, raping and pillaging of our freedoms, and none of that matters. What does he think about this one particular issue that concerns me greatly? And what you will find is, of those 70% of the people that are dependent on the government, let's just say there's 3 reasons: food stamps, healthcare or Medicaid, and Social Security retirement. Let's say those are the 3 things that encompass the 70% of the population that they're going after. This Republican or whatever over here, he don't like that entitlement program about the food stamp thing. Not voting for him. I'm changing to Democrat. Healthcare, they're gonna stop my healthcare. I'll die if I don't get the pharmaceutical. I'll die if I don't get. I'm voting for him. I can't die. And even in a draconian world or leadership, at least I'm alive. The same thing could be said about the food stamp guy. I'll starve to death if I don't get food stamp. Okay. How about the retirement benefits, Social Security? If I don't get that, I'll starve to death. That's their EBT card. Not only that, you may find EBT card and Social Security recipient who's an older person who's struggling to survive, And again, I'm not blaming the people. The people didn't put themselves in this position, but they got there. And then they become basically told what to do by the terrorist. The terrorist comes in, and in the beginning, if the terrorist just came in with all these demands, we would fight him off and defeat him. But the terrorist came in slowly, and now he's got you all at gunpoint out of nowhere. You didn't know it. He didn't even know he had a gun, didn't even know he was a terrorist. Now he's a terrorist, has a gun. You will do this, 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 and this. And not only that, now you're in the mindset, I can't even fight him. Matter of fact, I don't want to fight him. So whatever rules he tells me, I'm just going to follow. Whatever things or freedoms he takes away, I'm just going to have to deal with it. Because if I don't, I won't be able to live. Not because he's going to shoot me, but because I won't have free food stamps, I won't have the retirement, Social Security. So you can see where this is actually going. And again, this is just history repeating. So I actually was doing a little research after reading this, someone's comment basically. And I found an interesting post on Yahoo Answers, or questions, from 2009. Noel writes, is there a food stamp / EBT option for those of us who want to eat organic only? On face value, that sounds good. Noel, I appreciate you wanting to give your body the proper nutrition so you don't get sick and rely again on the Medicaid system or something else and kill yourself early by poisoning yourself with all the processed food and nothing else. So at face value, the question seems okay. Is there a food stamp / EBT option for those of us who only want to eat organic, or who want to eat organic only? Then you think about that and say, well, that must mean he's already using an EBT card and can't buy organic, or he wouldn't be asking the question. So he then continues, that's the subject, and then he says, I was just wondering if there is a government program that allows for those of us who want to eat organic food only to get more money on our EBT card each month? Question mark. You see where this is going, can't you? This is from 2009. Eating organic is very, and he continues, eating organic is very costly, and it is not fair that the government expects us to eat healthy on such a small weekly budget. And to make matters worse, if I work more hours at my job to help offset my EBT amount, I will lose my food stamps altogether. So how do I get Obama to give us organic eaters more money each month? And then he says additional details. EBT is already more highly restrictive than you guys think. When I go to Whole Foods, I can only buy cold prepared food, such as the salad bar, but not hot prepared food, such as hot che. How do they get away with this sort of discrimination against us disadvantaged people? Entitlement mindset. The government needs to step up to the plate and at least double the amount of money on the EBT card and remove such draconian rules and regulations it has on what we can and cannot buy. Again, this guy, Noel, must be working a pretty standard yet crappy paying job. But as low as it is, probably minimum wage, he at least qualifies for EBT help also. So he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. If, as he said, if I go get a better job or one that pays more, I then get off the food stamp EBT system. And if I do, the new job that will pay me more will actually be worse because the food stamp offset was better when I had my crappy paying job. However, no matter what, I'm in a position where I can't afford healthy foods and I have to buy crap. What do? The only answer, which again, it's not really fair to Noel, but the only answer is, Noel, you got to find a much better paying job, not just a little bit better paying job. You got to find a much better paying job. And there are so many millions and millions of Americans that is not even kind of an option for. They are stuck. They are a slave to the system, the same way the lender and the borrower is servant to the lender. Unless you walk away from your house and tell them to go pound sand. So here is a response. There's a few responses, and the last one I like the best because this particular person, Olivia, was on food stamps and can relate. However, she has a very interesting way of putting things that I actually appreciate. I was on food stamps my entire life growing up. But personally, I agree with the majority of people here. I think you should eat some organic and then the rest regular food. I know that it isn't enough to get you through the month on organic food. It is barely enough to get you by on the regular food, but that is because it is just a supplement to help you. You can't expect the taxpayers to pay more money so you can buy all organic when they, the taxpayer, have to buy their own groceries and won't be able to buy all organic. I know my brother is a taxpayer and he is just on the cutoff line for food stamps. That's actually an interesting sentence. I know my brother is a taxpayer and he is just on the cutoff line for food stamps. So Olivia, you're not a taxpayer? You're a full-fledged food stamp government recipient, so you don't even have to pay taxes because you make so little? Or you're completely relying on the system so there's nothing to tax from you? That's interesting in itself, isn't it? Again, from 2009, 3 years ago. He is paying for you, the taxpayer brother, she's saying, he is paying for you and a lot of people in my family who are on the food stamps. It isn't really fair for you, or anyone else for that matter, to insist on getting double the money when he, the taxpayer, is just barely scraping by on the edge of the food stamp line paying for your food stamps. In other words, he can almost get accepted to be on food stamps, but he makes just a smidgen more than that cutoff line, so they don't accept him. So he's that typical taxpayer. And again, the other story is like the illegal aliens that come over here, don't hardly work at all, pocket all of it under, work under the table, apply for government help, have families, multiple kids, wife, husband, multiple kids, all entirely dependent on the government. And then they compare that guy who appears to be like, God, this guy's living at the bottom of society here. This guy's scraping the bottom of the barrel. This guy's, man, sucks to be him and his family, huh? Only to find out that the guy that makes a good, decent living because of the taxes and everything else he has to pay, he cannot get anywhere near the lifestyle benefits that this guy that we thought was scraping the bottom, this immigrant, is actually getting. Because not only is he working under the table, not reporting that money, no tax on that money, but he's then getting all of the benefits from our government as if he makes no money. So he's living large. So he said, this final comment was this from the same person, Olivia. This is the scenario for many people. Be happy that at least you get some and try to manage with what you get. You can figure something out. Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. But again, as the economy gets worse and worse and worse and the job losses get worse and worse and worse, I can't sit here and blame people for wanting to live and expecting that, hey, I put into the system, I've been part of the society as some kind of family member, if you will, of the whole society. Now I've lost most everything. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel and I get no help. I put in all these taxes. I was a working citizen, role model citizen. So then they have that kind of, handout mentality comes to them automatically. Hey, I deserve something. It'd be like you kicking your family member out all of a sudden because he got hurt and can't work anymore. Wow, get him out of here. Get him out of the house. Throw him in the streets. Hey, wait, whoa, I'm a human being, for God's sakes. I'm your family member. Come on, what the hell? Who are you guys? Right? So what would happen normally in a normal family? Well, everyone's going to help pitch in. Come stay with us over here at your relative's house. We'll give you a room. You're going to have to help a little bit, pitch in, get a job as soon as you can, but, come stay with us. So there's the welfare state within someone's own family. Does the guy who came over, did he intend to do that? No. That's what life dealt him, unfortunately, not any fault of his own. And his family that took him in, now they've got a little extra burden on their hands. They're the taxpayers, if you will, taking in this welfare recipient who's their family. So, okay, well of course, we're going to help you. And an interesting thing happens, usually, when that scenario comes up. The welfare recipient, who didn't want to be one, didn't ask to be one, it was forced down his throat because of the economy and job losses. But now he's saying, man, I don't have these freaking high mortgage payments. I don't have this damn high car payment. They got that thing. Now I got this little used beater of a car. It gets me from point A to point B. I don't have to pay property taxes. I barely have to help pay the bills here. Man, I'm kind of liking this. Man, this is so much easier than before. So then it becomes that the welfare state. The entitlement state. I'm entitled to this. And then they start, as it goes on, these people, it becomes entitlement completely. Whoa, this is mine. This is my new life. Don't take that away. Me, on the other hand, if I moved in with a family member because of those circumstances, I would be gone so fast. I would be out every day looking for a job. And as soon as I got a job, I'm helping you guys pay the bills, right? Okay, good, great. I'm glad I can help. The job sucks as far as pay, but I do have a job, so I'm taking the money. Here you guys go. Not all of it, of course. I got to keep some for myself. Help the family that's helping me pay their bills. It's only fair. Save up some money with this little crappy paying job if I can. Even if I can't, fine. At least I'm helping the family out that's helping me, or family member, whatever. And I'm going to keep looking for a better and better and better paying job. I will not sit there and say, well, I finally got a job. I'll just chill now and just come here every day, 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever, and just work here. No, I am going to continually look for that better paying job. That's been my mindset set forever. And, 10 years ago, plus, I started realizing I don't like repairing cars. It's hot as hell out here under this metal roof. There's no air conditioning outside. So I'm burning up all day. Dirty, filthy, oily, rotten hands every day. Dealing with people's piece of absolute garbage cars that nobody takes care of. I realized it sucked. I didn't want any part of it. I wanted to move into the computer industry. Repair, IT, etc. And I realized, well, I could go to college, and I started to. And then realized this is not going to get me where I need to get, because I'm going to have debt after this. And I'm not going to have any experience as far as, even though I was good with computers back then, self-taught, but you can't go apply somewhere and say, I'm good with computers, I self-taught myself, will you hire me? No. They want to see you working somewhere for a number of years, you got experience under your belt, etc. So I said, man, I'm probably better off working at like a little computer shop, and while I work there, continually find a better paying job, put my application out, got some experience now, move on up. It could take years. And you know what? That's exactly to the T what happened with me. And I now have a really good paying job in IT. And I saw that long ago. Unfortunately, I was still a sheep for other reasons back then. But I did see that and decided I'm getting out of school right away. I only went in for about 2 months. College. Didn't have any kind of credits, nothing. I mean, I got nothing. So I was out. And right away went and got the job, etc. Got better job. So it took time. So in one sense you can say, well, I'm lucky. In the other sense you can say, well, I did try to align myself to make that happen, and it did happen, but it took me years to do that. I have no college debt, and I actually, salary-wise, I get paid probably better than a person in my position who went to college, to tell you the truth. I'm quite sure of it. They have that massive debt and that massive time spent in school, which, in my opinion, didn't do too much. Because as soon as they get out of school, they have to do what I already did. Go get this little small job that pays crap, or just barely above crap, get some experience, then you have the experience plus the college degree, now go get a better paying job. Well, I thought to myself, that's what I'm going to be doing minus the college. They're going to want people with experience no matter what. Every ad I see, such and such degree or certifications and experience. Well, you can have all the certifications you want, you can have all the college you want. If you don't have the experience, these bigger paying, better paying companies will not hire you. So I got in early, got my feet wet, moved up, and here I am today. Not to sit here and try to like brag or anything, but it is a system that I will use again as far as if I go get a job, it doesn't pay well. And that was the other thing. As I got into these jobs, working with computers and whatever my position was at the time. I immediately, day one, I'm coming into my new job. Hey, everybody, I'm the new guy. And then I get home at night after work. I'm looking for other jobs, better paying, better work experience that I would gain from it, etc., to put under my resume. And you'd find one, okay, boom, put in the resignation, 2 weeks, whatever, go to the next one. Now I've got a better paying job, more responsibility, etc. Day one, go home, what else can I get? And I would continually look. And that's how I landed this job. So that's a good strategy I'm actually sharing with you, but the more important part of this video is the whole food stamp entitlement state we are turning into in this country, which is just reassuring me right now as I'm sitting here of how bad I do need to get out of the city and get into the country living cheap. And just to give you an idea of one of the properties I found that was actually for sale by owner/owner financing, was 10.5 acres, 4-bedroom, 1-bath, big giant 2-car like workshop, detached from the house, so over a little ways in the field, pasture enclosed, some kind of small horse barn or something, and like a fenced in dog area. I don't know if the lady used to train dogs or something, I don't know. $49,000. Tennessee. Owner financing. There's not a lot of owner financing, by the way. Trust me, I've looked. But I could have that for $49,000, or I could have this for $159,000, technically right now, with a quarter of an acre of total property on a corner lot in a neighborhood with houses everywhere next to each other, 8 feet apart, etc. This lady's got a screeching, unbelievably absurd parrot over here. I don't know if you can see my hand this way, across the street. This one over here is out sawing wood and stuff almost every weekend, 7 o'clock in the morning, no sleeping in. This guy's out here sawing stuff. Then you have this side of the area. Hello? Hang on one second. That's Mama. And this side we have peacocks all over the neighborhood that screech in the middle of the night. And then when I go to Tennessee with my boss, he's on 40 acres, but it's the same thing as this 10 acres I'm talking about, where people are way spread apart, and you do this and listen. And you might hear a cow out in the field. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys, and I will talk to you later.